and welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons and lose players to life being absolute assholes. Or containing absolute assholes in some cases. Previously, the Cupcake Coterie is planning for some trips to get a hold of some weapons that can kill gods. As many as they can get. Which means they have to go hunting for ingredients for their very favorite and, in fact, only steel singer to work with. Their plan is Cragveer for Living Flame, and then the Shattered Lands for, at the very least, Solid Magic, which is going to be a whole thing to collect. They've had a couple of protective suits made because honestly, they don't. Some of us can't go at all, and we basically want the most single-minded of them, which weirdly, all things considered, but given faith, is Hazel. Not everyone is particularly happy about this, but there are ways around some of the potential complications of a place where you probably don't want to cast any magic because it will coalesce around on in you or something to that effect, depending on what you're casting. But the other thing that they have been having to do is, well, first they're dealing with the last day of the Feast of Sune, but in the process of that, Cherie had to explain to her employer, Lord Governor Bahir Zet, the governor of Zlataur, and Ancient Gold Dragon, that she was going to be taking a bit more of a sabbatical to help this bunch of chucklefucks. Governor Zet was not pleased with this, but managed to talk him around just about. Those of you who were not completely frozen with fear. Which was more of you than it could have been, frankly, but, you still managed more or less. But when we rejoin our party, they're coming out of the government building looking various degrees of shaken.
Well, well,
So Shuri is with us.
Yeah, yeah, that's been sorted out.
Okay. Um I know we're going to dinner market things, but Shuri, how many of these stalls do the best booze? 'Cause there's at least three, probably more among us who need
Something to.
kegs, entire kegs of alcohol.
Well, I was going to say something to calm the nerves, but what do people like, alcohol wise? Are there preferences?
um, I've always been a ale or whiskey kind of guy.
Hmm.
Usually ale for me.
Yes, I think we're looking at something shotable,
Ah,
at least in the outset, because that I don't think that was fun for anyone. You know what? I think I know where we're going to go. Thankfully, there is someone of my acquaintance that, at the very least, knows what will generally help with the needing a calmative. And after that, there's an entire section that deals in wines and ales beyond that, I think. Although we should probably save too much of that for the actual food. Come along.
Oh,
And yeah, you wind up with this one's a surprisingly large stall with a rather small halfling behind it, and behind them a couple of shelves filled with you've mostly only seen like one or two things per stall in the other ones. Not here. Here is here is a selection. Uh, Halfling, sort of. I'd say middle age, but it's more the not young, not middle age, somewhere in between. Going, oh, hi, Cherie. Oh, these are the adventurers. They've had a bit of a time. Right. Okay. Where do I start? I've heard about you, looking at Hazel. You're probably the one who needs the chill first, usually. Like, in general.
You're not wrong.
I have just the thing for you. Clink pours a little shot glass. The liquid in it is transparent, but reddish tinged.
Well, if this is a case of shot, well, down the hatch it goes.
Yeah, this is a vodka infused with chili pepper.
Okay. Random question. Would this event is this magical enough to give the illusion of breathing fire?
No, this is just very good chili vodka.
I would say to everyone else to definitely try this, but toasty is a word.
On that subject, looks at Rylan. I think I've got the thing for you. Again, transparent, but sort of a brownish tinged.
Kind of just following Hazel with the very much expression of I don't normally drink, but today I'm making an exception.
This one is there's a sort of a toasted walnut and maple sugar finish to it.
That was actually really lovely.
Those go great in martinis.
We'll keep that in mind.
Looks at Barnabas. Ah. Looks at Sheree, looks at Barnabas. Just a second, I'm gonna have to dig into a somewhat special stock. Under the stall. Clatter clunk. Comes up blowing dust off a bottle. This seems to be outside of the usual stock offerings. This one's a deeper brownish, so more of a whiskey brownish than a flavored vodka. Slide.
Thank you. Is this a shoot it or savor it?
It's entirely up to you. Depends what you need at this point. Yeah, if you want another one of those, you're going to want to savor it because there's some notes of maple, notes of vanilla, sort of peat and
Oh.
old leather finish. This is some damn good whiskey.
Oh, I would like to actually savor this now. That was delicious. If I could have another.
Yep, pour.
Oh,
Looks at
if it
Remy.
wasn't for
You know what? I'm gonna pour you one of these as well. You kind of look like you need it.
Mhm.
Also, you
Thank
don't
you.
you don't look like you have that much in the way of preference, to be honest.
Not particularly.
Sorry, sir. You were saying?
I was saying, normally I'd feel guilty about shooting something this high quality, but after having the day what we just had and the most menacing possible promotion of my life, I think I've earned it.
Looks at Ava. Pours. Transparent, slightly greenish tinged. Are you? It. Yeah. It's an. The sniff is apple, tiny little bit of cinnamon, and that is in fact the taste you get. Clarity apparently gets blueberry.
Perfect.
Darwin gets a long look. This is a challenge. And you know those shots that come in layers? Yeah, this drink's gayer than I am, sort of a situation.
You would love that.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm trying to figure out how I can get some of the flavors, but they're blending and but helped. Thank you. And Clarity is looking. Not that this isn't fun, but I was thinking time is probably a bit of a factor. I thought maybe because Egref basically doesn't close that much either, um, but comes closer to it than here. I thought maybe Darwin can teleport and we could go and start getting containers. So we
Yeah,
don't
that's
have to
actually.
spend a whole other day and,
Mm.
get sidetracked because we do that a lot.
I did. That's actually a really good idea.
Gives Hazel a kiss on the cheek. We'll meet back up here tomorrow morning. Didgeridoo. And off she and Darwin head. This was my bright idea when I figured out one of the teleporters wasn't going to be here. This is useful. Anyway, yes. So right, we've got protective suits in the process of being made. We have containers. Darwin and Clarity between them will know to be asking Molly for exactly where they should go. So hopefully it shouldn't take the entirety of a day. They've got enough coin to hopefully have some rooms available at the Riddler's Stump. So that leaves us getting dinner, picking up dinner for the Mobius Twins, and having the meeting. I will make sure to take appropriate notes for Clarity because she will not forgive any of us otherwise.
Indeed.
Not just having the meeting, but surviving the meeting. Alana is still Alana.
Well,
Yeah,
usually,
they're nervous.
usually if you get her focused on something, she's not too bad.
Yeah, here's hoping. She scares me.
Well, let's face it, you at the very least are conversant with the concept of your own mortality.
Sorry. Say that again?
You know you can die, she can't.
Point taken.
Right, you wanted the specialized foom noodles. Come on. And yeah, the three kobolds have set up. They've sensibly moved their stall to directly next to the milkshake stall, but not too close to next because there is a space between them and the other stalls because there is an aura. There is now literally a significant aura. It's probably only
God.
Hazel and Alice who can come close to that place remotely comfortably.
Do I even want to know how much damage it would do to anybody else?
It would just cause some watery eyes, a lot of coughing. Your sinuses would be incredibly clear, but you would basically not be able to see at that point. Because when you come up close, there's not even cheese to temper it this time. This is a very different kind of foom noodle.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
This is, Ho Fun noodles, the thin flat rice ones?
Yeah.
Apparently they're stir frying those with protein of choice, veggies you have never even seen, and chili peppers you also have never seen. And that the reason for the aura is because they basically turned they've stuck a wok, effectively, a really big wok, onto the stall and are just happily stir frying away.
I okay. Um. Initially, I was just here for the super foam. Now, I want to know what the veggies are and where you get them.
There is vegetable stall normally, uh, that away. Um, we get the ones that are not so much for the raw eatings, the ones that don't look too tidy, and we put them in. These is the superfood noodles, and these are we call it in LSAs snow peas.
Huh?
One of the few things that actually grows halfway normally in an Ambach. Though you're lucky to find them because the reindeer and the dire moose also love them. But yeah, they're what you recognize as snow peas.
Huh.
And there's some various types of onions, and this is it's a kind of radish.
Huh. And then there's the ultimate pepper.
Ultimate peppers. There's various ones in various colors and chopped in various ways to denote various sizes.
This brings so much joy.
We have uh the beefs, the porks, the shrimps, the ducks, or the uh you don't know what tofu is.
Eh?
Is a soybean paste, and it actually shows a chunk of tofu.
Wait, may I?
Do you want it stir fried first? It's not that great, bro.
I I I would like some stir fried, but I want to try it as is because I need to know.
Yes, no, we add the meat to what is here.
Yeah, then in which case, can you tofu and duck?
They don't go together very well. Tofu and shrimps is better.
Well, you're the masters. I trust you on that.
And when they add the shrimp and the tofu, they add effectively sriracha on steroids.
Dear God.
And a variety of other sort of. There is soy sauce, but it's kind of lost in all the rest of it.
Yeah. Also, Hazel desperately still wants to try like just tofu by itself because she's seeing it jiggle and she wants to know what that feels like more than tastes.
Well, if you want to try the raw tofu, you can try the raw tofu. They just think it would taste better cooked. And you know what raw tofu is like. You've probably had it in miso soup and things.
Yeah, just but farm girl and
Yeah.
rapidly converted foodie trying it.
It more takes on the flavors of the things you cook it in. Like mushrooms. We have some of the spicy mushrooms in here too. And some of the regular mushrooms.
Like clearly like mulling it over. Hold on. And then calculating She's veered off into how many different things she's noticed have been made from soybean and is almost middle distance staring and theory crafting. We have lost the farm girl.
We regained the farm girl when they basically crispy wonton. They've made the
Oh
bowl
my
out.
god.
They've made the bowl out of that. So you can eat the bowl afterwards.
Thank you.
And yeah, where are you going to stand to eat this?
Well, I have to do them the honor of trying it
Yeah,
in like
because
visual range.
the main reason I asked that was on the grounds that you don't have to do a con save anymore. You have now survived the hottest of the things. But this is coming very, very close to that green capped spice that you now have in your. This is. There's layers of spicy. There's the clean spicy and the sort of gritty spicy and the plain old lava spicy.
Well, in honor of the girlfriend who is not here right now, experiment must be done, and I'm going to see how close I can get before to the rest of the group before they start leaking.
Oh boy.
Okay, everybody who is still here, make me a con save. Unless they are backing well up.
Because
It's me.
is
Hi, I'm
approaching.
backing all the fuck up.
Yeah, you can tell that if you get too close to Rylan, they're going to teleport the fuck away from
I'm
you if they
going
have
to run and then disappear.
Yeah, no, you
I have
guys.
had to stare down a dragon once already today.
No, this actually smells great, and Alice is actually being kind to y'all and standing by the stall to eat hers. And I take it Ava and Rylan are backing way up.
Backing up a little bit.
Okay, good to know. And then moving back
Into the
over to
aura.
Alice to save y'all the rest of the just doom aura.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, with Barnabas and Remy, depending on how they feel about spicy right at this second, are probably actually that smells really good.
It does absolutely smell really good, but Barnabas is still giving Hazel a fairly baleful, watery-eyed, like, back up with that. Not now is not the time
Not
for
in the mood.
not the mood.
Shri is watching Barnabas and going, I know exactly where we're going next. Once the two who actually scoff the spicy are there, she leads a little ways down. And you remember that restaurant where you had the pierogies and the everything?
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently they've brought out their absolute best for the holiday. And apparently this is when they break out the special borscht. Don't know why it's special, but they do have the potato dumplings, so you can put potato dumplings in your borscht, as well as there's 3 different types of pierogies, and none of them are labeled.
Excellent.
For those of you not aware, this is where I took Barnabas on our first meal-related date.
Ooh.
It is so good.
And the gentleman running the stall looks up. Ah! Is smiling over at Barnabas. We have a special thing for you.
Oh?
Actually goes back into the restaurant, comes out with bread bowl full of this sort of sausage chowder kind of thing.
He's gonna dig right in.
This is... You can see why they're bringing this out on... Well, first you can see why they're bringing it out on the day when they bring out their best, but then you realize somewhere in the middle of that, around about when you're lamenting empty bread bowl, but hey, you get to eat the bowl now, you realize he had to go back into the restaurant for that. He made that really special, assuming you were going to come by, apparently. This is for the special.
Oh wow. They literally just make. Did they make this specifically for me?
They made that for the family and those treasured compatriots. She actually has one as well, and she's eaten it far less quickly. Uh, I am part of that. You are part of my life. They're aware of this.
Oh,
Aw.
Now, would you
oh,
like to introduce your friends to the concept of pierogi?
yes. So these are pierogies. It's take dough, stuff it with something, fold it, cook it as you see. They're wonderful because they could be anything.
And
Hazel.
in this case, we are doing uh, well, surprises. Also, if any of you know, this is borscht, and these two they like to put those potato dumplings, which are different from the pierogi, into the borscht. Hazel does know. She calls it something slightly different, but she knows. She I remember she knows from borscht. Mom and Mama make it. Well, Mom specifically makes it.
Oh, hello. The ultimate beats.
Yes, we have a deal with the best of the beet growers, in our humble opinion, anyway. Pours a
Weak beats.
pours a bread bowl for Hazel. Offers to put a couple of the potato dumplings in.
Yes, very yes, very, very,
Clunk,
very
clunk.
yes.
Yep. And once you're done with your borscht, you can experiment and surprise your way through the pierogies. You can see Michigan leaning a little towards the pierogies and then remembering manners. And
Aw.
Nicely done, Michigan. You
Doing
remembered.
really well.
This one would probably also like a surprise me assortment.
yes, I think you will see your griffin's reaction before you get to try them. They should add to the surprise. Beads one. Actually, at that point, gives up. Does the baby bird? We'll try you on number two. Not so much the app, but the again. So you could Hazel in particular is starting to see baby bird is must have it. Uh, Puppy eyes is I would like some please. So must have it is that is the better one. Gives the third. You can see him restraining himself for going for the rest of the tray.
Oh boy.
Gives another one. Sorry, you cannot eat us at the house and home. We cannot fill your stomach too much because there's lots of other places. Poo. Yes, for Barnabas, the the one that got the please please more was the simple farmer's cheese option. The one that got the that was nice. Is a sort of a is also the farmer's cheese, but there's a bit of spinach and a bit more garlicky flavor to it. And the one that got him nearly attacking the tray, there's the meat from that particularly good sausage.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's in that. Which is why, partially because Michigan is very much for the meats. And, okay, if you do not eat meats, you probably don't want these ones.
Maybe so, but the just farmer's cheese ones are just fantastic.
So yeah, there you guys are, gnome away on pierogies, possibly on the borscht.
Yeah, this sparks joy.
Hey Hazel, maybe you'll be able to have or make this kind of cheese in Goldendale,
I'm
so you can have that to go along with your borscht.
okay.
It's the little ways further down. And there's a little bit of everything for everybody who wants something different. There was that space that did the steak sandwiches, which you were gonna check in on because they were doing the mixed meat kebabs.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's meat and assorted vegetables on sticks. And you've got the sort of regular cow, regular pork, wild cow, wild boar, game, assorted game bird, and mixed meat.
Mm.
Rylan probably has slightly better luck at a place that seems to specialize in quiche.
Yeah, this is probably not really the best stall for them.
Well, yeah, but it's there is one spot that is. I think most of you have at least had passing acquaintanceship with sushi. There's one that's doing that, and that gnome is freaking scary with a knife. You have not seen anybody reduce anything to slices so fast in your life. And Alice A is sort of picking up a variety of things for the Mobius twins. And eventually you wind up in and around the dessert spot where, after watching you all, um, more or less winds up in front of pie stall. Except these aren't like your normal pies. They look like the ones you get at McDonald's, which, let's face it, is one of the only decent thing about McDonald's food anyway. But this is Ambier hot pies. So we have a selection of flavors. This from the human who's running the stall. We have apple blackberry. This is going to sound weird, but chocolate cream and wild forest berry. Those are our best anyway, so that's why we brought them out. Alice just kind of grabs one of the chocolate ones and hands it to Remy.
Ooh, thank you.
As we bake them for a little bit and then we deep fry them briefly. That is why they are so crispy.
No.
Oh,
Barnabas goes for the wild forest berry.
Yeah, this is. You're thinking about it, and damn, these are really good berries. And then you remember Skylar's constant berry foraging, and you're like, I wonder if Twilly would want the recipe for how they do these.
And then he's like, would they be willing to part with the recipe for how they do these?
Well, they did.
I could
They
pay.
they did explain about the deep frying.
So, would you be willing to share the recipe for these? I can compensate you.
Well, it's not so much. The recipe is more. If you make pies at all, the filling has got to be yours, or whoever is
Hmm.
cooking the things. But for the pie dough, really the only real secret is the very little bit of deep frying afterwards.
Okay.
If you're
Okay.
giving this to somebody who likes doing the pies, and from having heard various bits of story, I imagine this is going to some people over the cliff face. So I'm not too worried
Yeah.
about the competition. Honestly, I'm sure they have their own secret recipes for their crusts, but the crispy is in the deep frying and adding just a little tiny bit of castor sugar to the oil
Hmm. Okay. How long on the deep fry? Like,
until it turns golden brown. It depends on your filling. It depends on your pie, you see.
gotcha. Thank you.
And Remy can tell her own parents about that later on.
Mm.
That would probably be a good seller. Yeah, Alice just grabs one of all of them and puts in the ever increasing bag for Mobius Twins.
Are there maybe like small, like bite-sized versions of all of them?
No.
Because I was having a hard time choosing.
And Alice is looking and going, "You ate almost zero dinner. Have one of each. You will run it all off adventuring anyway."
Fair
I mean,
enough.
you've never seen me worry about any kind of diet, and look at me.
True.
And yeah, you can. Even after tasting all of them, it's like I couldn't have chosen, even if I'd known.
Mm.
Damn it. Oh well, now I have a belly full of miniature pies. Great. The person running the skull is doing. Also, that is, it's not so much how you get how the food is. It's more about the vitamins and things that it's still as healthy. It's just a little more sugary, and you run around adventuring all the time.
That we do.
So you are getting all the goodness of the fruits and the vegetables, which everyone says you should eat a lot of.
Oh, these are fantastic.
Thank you. We do bring out our best, or we attempt to. Okay, so is there anything anybody wants to look into before we brave the Mobius twins?
What I can think of.
I mean, we could always bring like a bottle of wine or something. Maybe having a glass of wine in her might calm Alana down.
With a shot.
And sure he is. Oh, good.
You must make an attempt.
I mean, I have no objections, so.
So, you all head in the general direction of a wine stall, and Cherie gets a couple of bottles that she won't tell any of you about, but you do see the sampling on the table is a couple of vintages you're not entirely sure of, one red, one white, and then one that is literally just blackberry wine.
Ooh.
Hazel's had this, actually. It's one of the you don't get the normal wine with grapes at home because grapes are not a part of your climate. So Twilly experiments with making wine out of whatever's handy.
Good God, we have actual fucking moonshine somewhere on the premises.
Well, it is sometimes good to have something calmative. Let us simply say. Usually they have the fruit wines for you know, adding. Sometimes they'll add bits of healing kind of herbs to it and mull it for when the kids aren't feeling well. because the
How many
alcohol.
varieties of mead?
Yeah, sort of, but it's something you can do with wine as well. It's just something that helps them get to sleep if they're having a particular illness. And there's special occasions, like it's a big occasion when one of the kids can actually have a full-on glass of wine at a special birthday dinner kind of thing.
Yeah, I meant more. There's probably all of those wines, and then there's a whole layer of mead.
Oh, probably cider for sure.
Mm.
Alice just kind of sees Hazel looking at the blackberry wine and hands her the little cup here. Yeah, I mean, it's not even so much this is better than at home. It's the realization as you sip it that this is what homes is going to taste like because of the better blackberries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. We've lost the farm girl again. Middle distance.
Hello.
Seemingly a religious experience and just seeing into the nowhere.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have some of this because if it's doing that to her,
Mm, I'm curious too.
I gotta try it now. I mean,
I'm sure he is. I mean, I will not discourage you. Their blackberry wine is excellent. I think she's more thinking of what could be done with the various berries at home.
still a valid reason to try it.
Yes. A half elf running the stall is in wintertime. I do sugar plum wine.
Be glad Hazel didn't hear that because the moment's still gone.
It's just, I mean, now that we're sort of on the tail end of winter months, it's still it's still aging. It'll be drinkable around mid-spring. Probably just about in time for the planting festivals. We like our festivals here. We celebrate as much as we can because we have been given a lot. And if you want to know a secret, we're kind of celebrating you guys too at this point. Things may not have gone great in some ways, but as far as we can hear from songs, gossip, word of mouth from the government building, which is basically how we get our news, you're out there kind of saving the world. So if we're being a little special at you, that's probably why.
Oh,
Oh, it's greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Also, you're clearly friends with Shuri, and we are nice to her friends. Thank you. Right, back to business, I suppose. Shall we?
Mm-hmm.
You enter the farmhouse, and the living room has got like three different easels on it. With big pads of paper on them, but with the top sheet being blank white paper, and just about every chair they could manage to wrangle drawn into a semicircle around the place.
uh-oh.
Niala did not drop down from a tree at you, but she does turn up behind you, but you don't actually know that until you get, yeah, she's been doing this like all afternoon.
Jeez.
You guys are jumpy for just having wandered around the market. Okay, what happened? Something got you guys jumpy.
Let's say we had a chat with the governor.
Ah,
Yeah.
And not in governor shape in governor shape.
Yeah,
I gesture for small and
yeah, you don't have to be cagey about that anymore. You know that, you know why.
I know it's just
It's just you don't really want to think about the
it
fact that
just seemed like it made sense to say it that way.
I should be used to this more by now. I think I'm just used to this coming from anywhere that isn't my sister. And from the kitchen, are they here? Yes, but you're gonna
Hello?
Yes, but you're going to eat something before you get started. Ah! You need fuel or you'll poop out halfway through. Okay. Come on, we'll do the kitchen because if she ends up in the living room with her various presentation flashcard things, she's gonna start anyway, and you probably want to be sitting, possibly with coffee for that. And yeah, Alana is at the kitchen table, and you're gonna have to do some shifting uh, at the kitchen table because notebooks covering the entire kitchen table, and it's not a small table, except for one little spot where Alana is writing things on basically index cards. I'm preparing.
Very thoroughly, it seems.
Oh, I noticed some of you aren't here, so but that's okay. I have a transcript.
I'm sure Clarity will be very happy with that.
Well, it was more because I figured if you've got anyone like me, you'll forget details, so it's good to have something to refer back to.
Mm.
I mean, it really is only kind of a transcript because it's how I would say the thing if I wasn't me, and, digressing here, there, and everywhere. Meanwhile, Niala's just moving books out of the way and putting together a plate and just plunk here. Oh, right, food. Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good choices. So, what did you guys think of the last day?
It was fun.
Wow.
Wow.
You're probably going to want to be up on the balcony in about an hour, which is probably good because we'll probably need a break from Alana by then anyway. Hey! Do you deny it? No, but still. Anyway, a few of the people in town have a sort of a fireworks competition.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's fun.
So that's always pretty to watch anyway. Alana's plate is now she's devoured half the things on her plate already. You're not entirely sure how that happened, but it happened.
She's faster than me. That's scary.
He's faster than me.
I have information to impart. I'm gonna be sitting there and being translator, but I'm gonna do it with a plate in my hand because some of us don't like the hiccups. Hiccups are fun. Besides, all I really need to do to get rid of the hiccups is to wild shape to something and then wild shape back. Changing the shape of your diaphragm makes the spasm stop.
Huh.
Interesting to know.
I mean, that makes sense, I think.
I guess.
Hazel is error.
I'll say is just promise me that if you use that turtle chocolate thing, you won't do it just to get rid of a case of the hiccups.
Yeah. I can definitely promise that.
We should ask Darwin about that when he was polymorphing into a bunny every day.
Yeah, good
would
point.
polymorph count as same as wild shape, or
Well, Alana, is it still all about changing the shape of your diaphragm?
I guess.
So it's any kind of changing of your shape. So, if you're being turned into a, a bunny or I'm personally really fond of ape. Silverback gorilla for the win.
Just normal gorilla?
To be fair, you're not 100% sure about gorilla.
What even is?
Looks at Niala. Yes, you can show them. Push his back chair.
Oh god, so she goes full giant gorilla?
Yep.
Because the giant apes are actually large, so there's enough room in this kitchen for her to go that big.
Remember, they are a very treasured part of the community. So yes.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Well, damn.
That is a lot of ape!
I could do more, but I like mushrooms better. It's about types of druid, you see.
I see.
Some can change into, like, dragons.
Hmm.
And Davis. Planetars. Not solars, though. I think that's a bit much. Scarfs up the last bits of food.
I have more questions as a result of that. You caused more questions than answers, but the other stuff is more important information right now.
Basically, everything causes more questions with you.
Be glad it wasn't clarity. We'd have way more questions then. Thing about being that smart is that you have the smarts to figure out all the questions.
Mm.
Thankfully, I'm relatively well versed in this sort of thing, so if she has questions while we're in transit, I can probably answer them. But for the time being, yes, you had a presentation. Go sit! Go sit, 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 sit. It is literally, she basically literally takes Hazel, turns around, starts shoving her towards the living room, and foomp into a chair. I'm assuming the rest of you follow because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the expression on my face is just help me.
You're fine.
yeah, eventually the only one of you that's not in a chair is Niala, and that's because she is sitting on the top of the back of it.
Mm.
You know that whole joke about lesbians and bisexuals not being able to sit normally? Apparently, this probably works for the asexuals too, because she has never shown any interest in anybody or anything, and she is perched up there in something very similar to Alice's unreasonably attractive gargoyle posture. Okay.
So we've got Alana down at the table in a weird posture, and her
Oh no,
twin-
Alana's standing next to the middle of her three easels with notepads on them, bouncing up and down. Her version of Hazel vibrating.
Oh dear God, she's having a. Sorry, just her in front of easels is automatically having me envision her trying to get herself into a teacher outfit because
No.
she's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, we do not have a Miss Frizzle outfit, okay?
Or one of those.
Damn it.
No, she's just in her normal kit. But flips back the first one, and what you see is somebody has attempted to draw what you presume is the Shattered Lands. It's kind of interesting, that particular full thing, because some of the islands seem interestingly shaped. There's numbers sketched near some of them, and at the very center of this vaguely circular, what must have been a landmass once, is what looks like what would happen if when you spray water on pavement and it shoots upward because you're right up close, like that, but if it froze mid bounce. And it's transparent, but it's not colorless. It's, in fact, all the colors. You begin to see from that alone why they might call it the Shattered Lands. Okay, that is your aerial top-down view of the Shattered Lands. At least as it was 5 years ago. It kind of moves. The islands kind of change heights, and sometimes they move clockwise, sometimes they move counterclockwise. It depends on the year. But while it's not 100% predictable, it's still slightly predictable. So this is our best guess as to how it's going to look now. But I'm going to have to... And flips over the page, and now you're getting horizontal view. And you're beginning to see what she means by their different heights, because you've got some that are apparently way up and down through various levels, and one or two on the water and one under the water. The underwater one didn't used to be, but it sank down there about 20 years ago and decided it liked it down there. You can still breathe there, but only within a certain bubble. And it's going to be kind of weird because you are technically breathing water. It's just water that's light enough to breathe, if you see what I mean. Not even remotely. Well, you're just going to have to take my word on this. But I didn't have to be a shark in there or anything.
Okay.
Any questions so far?
How are we supposed to get to the ones that are flying?
Oh, there's usually ways. I think it's going to depend on exactly how many of them you want to get to, which I guess is why we need to go island by island. So what exactly are you guys looking for so I know which easel to start with? Because I get the feeling that you guys are kind of in a hurry, and if I know exactly what I need to point you at, then I can skip some of the things that I think are really, really cool, but probably won't help you.
We want the not exactly condensed magic, but the crystals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's easel 3, page... You've got the overland, the bird's eye view, straight down view, and a spot you would have taken for a fragment of crystal, because some of those shatters do seem to have flaked off and are still kind of floating there. But first you'd think, oh, that's a very big fragment. No, that's a very small island. Next to that, it's weird. It looks like an egg with a clear top, and you guys have never, in character, you guys have never seen a helicopter rotor.
Um,
Yeah, see those blades there up on the top, they go nee, 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 and they lower you down to there. Because this one's fairly close to the epicenter, the actual shattered, the actual impact crater. It's the
So
closest
it's
place
like
anyone can actually go to. Um, because if you try to go too much closer to the impact crater, doesn't matter what kind of protections you have, you will either be crushed, discorporated, turned into an equal volume of spiders. Yeah, really.
so that thing is kind of like a sort of small airship.
Yeah, very, very small because you don't want too many people going down there at one time. Because the disembodied individuals there, they get real screamy, and the more life there is to be screamy at, the more screamy they get.
Mm,
Mm.
sounds lovely.
So yeah, basically you load somebody into there and down you go. Because it, like I say, it mostly stays at not quite sea level, but a little bit up from sea level. And one of the only really safe places to get directly to that island is uh, close enough to not be too much of a trip, but far enough away to not get the ambient radiation. So the best way to approach it is up and down. And they tried zip lines for a while, but that gets a little unpredictable, and they weren't particularly keen on people winding up not quite as they came back up, even with the protective gear. Apparently, going in really, really speedy kind of lets the magical radiation get in. Kind of like how you get bugs in your mouth if you're riding too fast. Except in this case, we wound up with one very, very large, very, very overly magicked frog.
eh,
I think he's still swimming around the impact crater. Or that was the rumor, wasn't it, Neil? Yeah, that thing has eaten about 3 Agraffian exploration ships so far.
How
It
large is
hits.
large?
well, as far as I've ever heard, it started kind of I don't know, 5 feet ish, but it ate more things and basked in more radiant energy, and now I think if you don't approach it by sea vessel, um, if you come straight down on it, and it wasn't so close to the impact crater, you could probably live on him.
Right then.
Out of character. How did they
Okay.
create Gamera?
It's the impact crater.
It's just they put a frog in the crater and we got a kaiju.
No, they tried to zip line a human into the ambient magic. The humanoid anyway turned into a frog, and that became a kaiju.
That's almost worse. They sent sentient in there and got a kaiju out of it.
Honestly, I really hope he swims further from the impact crater. I bet he'd be less grumpy if he had company.
Eh,
How do we avoid him spotting us and eating us or whoever?
Well, that, like I said, it's only if you approach by by sea vessel. You're not going to be going into the water that close.
No.
You're going to be dropping on the eggy copter. That's this thing. That's what I call
oh
this
boy.
thing. Well, they haven't named it anything better, so.
Eggycopter it is then.
So
Yeah.
as long as they stay on land.
Well, yeah, because it's still like they're still sort of 20, 30 feet above sea level. I told you it wasn't quite on sea level.
Right.
To be fair,
One of the floaty ones.
I think the Frog Island is bigger than the Magic Crystal Island now.
Hmm.
Oh, good gods. So the weird magic ley line stuff also causes the islands to change size?
No, it's just the frog got bigger.
Ow.
Okay, to be fair, I think some of the islands may have gotten bigger. Look, sometimes the hail turns you into rock candy.
Speaking of the Crystal Island, out of character, I'm just trying to remember. Did anybody tell any of us about, like, say, a dragon or anything of crystal on the island?
You asked, there is not.
Gotcha.
In fact, what you heard was there's a crystal dragon on the other Crystal Island. There's the Magic Crystal Island, which is, as far as you can tell from what you're hearing now, too small to house a proper dragon.
No, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. The one where every creature is a crystalline thing.
Yes, no, you asked, and yes, there is one, and you don't even really have notes beyond little footnotes in your dragon guide. And Ava, until then, hadn't heard of them at all.
Gotcha.
So that's the first place you guys are needing to get to. And you've got, like, your protective gear and everything, or having it made?
We're working on that, yeah.
Yeah.
Hokey smoky. Just make sure that it's somebody who has an awful lot to come back to. Alice looks over at Hazel. I think we've got it covered. I do have one question, though. I know that casting spells is considered a bad move there. But what if just before you descended in this Eggycopter thing, you took something potion-ish? Would that do anything? No, because it'd have already have changed your physiology by that point. So the magical aura would have only been there when it was making the changes. So when the change to that state happens and when the change back to your normal state happens is the bad.
Okay, so you definitely want to take it before and leave before it runs out.
Yep.
Okay, good to know.
Good to know that we have a timer on that.
Well, the only reason
Because
I
I was
bring
gonna
it up
ask.
is because I figure most of those have an hour time limit, and the things I was thinking of from your cornucopia of stuff you happen to pick up um, might actually help you get back in a faster time frame.
Yeah. That I'm just remembering because you're the one who mentioned the potion to start with.
Yeah, because I don't think your boots of haste will be wearable under your.
You.
I'm probably gonna have to do your hair as well to make the drag and the poof as much as possible, so you're not straining the fabric too much. I have some ideas.
That's good.
Yeah, I didn't entirely ask why are you going to the solid magic place?
We need that and a bunch of other things to essentially upgrade and or transform or create some weapons that can kill a god. We need to hit Tiamat in the face really, really hard.
Well, the rule doesn't seem to be shaking the place down, so I guess that's okay. So, okay, give me a breakdown. What else are we looking for so I know where to point you?
Living flame, which you could
And
find on going
I'll say is
from
that's Cragveer. That's not entirely their department. I can tell you that if you want to get there reasonably quickly, you're probably going to want to talk to Vievelet about that because they've got some mining tunnel in that kind of area, and they got a neat little train set up that will get you to the borders of the Equitas section of the Northern Mountains and Cragveer. And after that, you're going to have to find a way to sneak across the border because they've apparently got really nasty. But you can probably ask Governor Roulette about that a bit more too.
Good to know.
Those heavily elemental infused items, but
Niala is let me translate Alana. What elements do you guys like working with? I mean, besides radiant, because I don't really know of any place that does strictly radiant. I know a possibility, but it's only a maybe. Like, really, really big maybe. And it's going to depend entirely on who's allowed on that island.
I kind of do primarily radiant, so
Well, I mean, yeah, but Alice says, are we talking about. I mean, we've all got a terrible lot of radiant energy in our souls right now, just to let you know, but I'm taking it it's got to be a very big deal radiant energy wise. Well, I'll talk about that one at the end because I didn't get to see a whole lot of it. That would be because I couldn't get in. And I'm smart enough to know I don't go on adventures without her. I get me at things.
it is still so weird looking at it from this angle.
Anyway, okay, besides Radiant, what do people like to work with?
mm,
I mean, I've always had a bit of a natural affinity for the shadowy bits, but I also don't know if that's really.
Oh, no, I mean, we can. That's easel 1, page 15. We didn't like that one very much, so it's only got the one slide.
What's it called? Because I know there's.
Oh, no, we don't bother naming these things. We don't bother
Because they
naming
keep
these places.
changing so much.
They
No, I don't.
change.
I don't mean places. I mean the magic's the magic energy. Because we have radiant. Is that just the island? Is that necrotic?
Well, in this
A lot of it,
case,
yeah.
it's not so much necrotic. It's more shadowy. It's hard to explain.
Eh,
Well, it's like you know how sometimes shadow can be alive.
a little bit.
Well,
Not a bit.
there's ways to collect that bit of living shadow and do stuff with it.
Eh, Oh, oh, that's starting to hurt. That's starting to hurt.
At which point gives a whistle. Hey, Soot! At which point Hazel feels little sharp needle teeth gnawing at the spot just above her boot.
What the?
Because coming out from the shadows from under her chair is. It looks kind of like a cross between a house cat and a beagle. And it's made entirely of shadow. Except those teeth are real enough. Yum, yum.
What?
stuff follows me home.
What is?
Soot.
Sorry, you said cat and a beetle?
Beagle.
Beagle.
Eagle.
Beagle,
Doggo.
as in Snoopy. You know, floppy ears.
What?
That sounds
Sorry,
super
it's
weird.
a
and
literal
super
cat
adorable at
dog.
the same time.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Michigan has left the Griffin bag and is kind of doing the tail bottle brush, but also the wings mantling. Mine!
Doing the full, like, almost owl thing where they half transform.
Something like that, but also the furry side is poof.
So his back end's puffed out, and the wings are full on forward, like.
As much so as you can get, but you're getting mine! Makes no noise, but attempts bat. Goes directly through Michigan, who looks like, what the fuck are you doing? Soot, from what little you can tell from... I mean, there's a little faintly dark green glowing eyes in there, and more like pinpricks, honestly, and it looks very confused and disappointed.
Just literal void cat.
Void cat dog, yes. Look how it looks at Paw like, but that was supposed to do something. And disappears into the shadows under the chair again.
I'm not sure if that was a cat, a dog, or a fox.
Yes.
Living shadow.
Just every time this much information comes at me all at once.
Well, we'll put a pin in that, and we'll talk about it towards the end. At least in part because we're about to be interrupted by boom. Fireworks is loud.
There was balcony mentioned. Balcony?
Yep. And off you go, and a couple of minutes after you get there with the wine bottles opened and a glass poured for each, yeah, it's loud. The only reason you recognize the smell is because of Ava's recent affinity for firearms, because that is a lot of black powder. But you didn't think you could do that with explosions. We're talking about the various Olympic and New Year.
Yeah, the really elaborate ones.
Yeah. I mean, magic helps with that a bit, but you can tell that a lot of this is practical.
Yeah.
Wow.
They did go all out this year.
Island.
I had to sign the planning permission forms.
Have you transcended beyond being a nervous?
I don't know if nervous is the right word currently.
I believe awestruck might be the word.
Yeah, this is so not a thing back home.
Probably just as well. The reason that I had to file so many planning permission forms is because on the ground level, that's a lot of flame. And if sparks land in the wrong spot or don't go out in time, you can lose an entire settlement.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Most of the fireworks artists rent out spots in the Cabreval wastes to practice.
given
Seems a
that we've
lot of
seen
gunpowder.
how weirdly magical some of that is,
That's
now I'm
wild.
wondering what hit that place. Because if the Shattered Lands are like they are, why is the waste around Copreval like that?
Well, you know
Because that's
how.
like, what, did another god get slapped through everything?
No, but you know when you drop a rock in a pond
Uh-huh.
and there's splash?
Uh-huh.
And sometimes that splash hits a ways away from where you dropped the rock?
Uh-huh.
Well,
Oh. Oh, something from the smacking landed there.
yeah.
That is terrifying.
I mean, it probably wasn't a whole lot, but it probably sank into the into the soil in the area.
That is still terrifying.
You terrify real easy.
Yeah, but for all the scary and terrifying, we still go and we check that stuff out.
Fair enough. And meanwhile, you've got Alice asking, so flying up around there, how safe is that? Eh, I I'd say probably pretty safe. I mean, try not to let sparks land, but beyond that, I was just thinking what it looks like close up. Anybody want to come with me? Looks
Sure.
at looks at Remy smooching in the middle of brightly colored lights.
Yes. Please.
And yeah,
Sounds like somebody didn't even need to ask. That was already going through Remy's head.
so yeah, we're a little past the usual break time. So when we come back, we'll have Remy and Alice come back from enjoying their up close and personal smoochy fireworks time and get back to the meat of the matter. See you in a few. And we're back after a little while of watching the fireworks and, well, finishing off the watching the fireworks because it does take a while because those are some very impressive displays and most of them are backed with music of some description. All of you roll me a perception check. Remy has other
Remy is
things
looking at
on.
Alice.
Well,
Yes.
Remy has other things on her mind,
Mm,
given up in the air with fireworks happening around and the smooching. So yes, um,
Nope.
Barnabas is kind of used to because when he first got here, he didn't know anything about where he was, and he must know enough to know that a lot of the ways you find out about the history of places in worlds like this is tavern ballads. Normally
Mm-hmm.
he's listening to the words, but he's still used to listening for the actual. He can listen for the tune as well. The tune is vaguely familiar, and then he realizes, yeah, no, he's heard it recently. You don't know how the fuck they did it this fast, but that tune that Alice did for Feast of Sune Gifts for You All, that's it. And that, yeah, because and then you're looking and thinking, okay, yeah, that green shape is probably Hazel's hair bow because it's got the gold of the Palor symbol behind it.
That
And
is fast.
and Sheree is, well, yes. When we have a lot of artists here, and when they get inspired, they get inspired. You noticed it too, then.
Mm.
And points. Look, there's yours.
Huh.
as I did manage the Azorius Senate symbol.
Wow.
A little sideways hug. I know.
No.
Yeah, the rest of you are hearing this. Because Alice has noticed, but she's not going to interrupt her current activities. But yeah, none of the rest of you really notice. Rylan gets there's something familiar about this. And is getting, if I didn't know any better, I'd think that how did they manage to make a Shadow Jefferson against a black background like this? And why? But the rest of you, nah. Hazel probably gets a little bit of familiarity as well, but nothing specific. Poor Ava. It's mostly just because she's never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
It's the song Alice wrote for.
So it is intentional.
Oh yeah. Wow.
That is a hell of a fast turnaround.
As I said, that our
Probably.
artists, when they get inspired, they get inspired. We tend to get the saner talents out of Egref as well. You know, the ones for whom perfection is more important than experimentation.
Fair point.
Mhm.
It's also possible that they might have had something similar planned for a different tune, and all they had to do was make some adjustments. And eventually, the entire fireworks display comes to an end. Alice lands, puts Remy down. Okay, so how many of you guys noticed that last one? Most of them not until they were told. Looks at Remy. That you might have sort of got the impression of me not quite giggling. That was because that song I wrote for you guys for the Feast of Sune, that was what was playing around us when some of those familiar bits of firework art were happening. I take it you
Oh.
missed most of that. I actually am kind of proud of that. So, okay, are you suitably wound down? Can we uh, talk more about the Shattered Lands and what you might want me to bring? You might want me to tell you about them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I suppose.
Back down the stairs you go. So, did anybody have a chance to think about besides the radiant thing, as we got the shadow thing? Because yeah, if you look, flip. This one, the place she's pointing is actually not that far from what Hazel at the very least recognizes as because one bit is kind of pink and sparkly, and one bit is kind of uh Strahd-esque, frankly, and one bit is just kind of chrome and weird. But Hazel recognizes that as that pink and sparkly bit must be Lady Whimsy's domain. So that must be the Archfey Island. But the Shadow Island that she's pointing at is a somewhat smaller island a ways off Lord Misrule's holdings.
Whimsy and Misrule, and that's the shadow one.
Yep, and that chromy looking one is Chance, and I think some of you have probably seen Misrule's arena. A couple of times, yeah.
Yep.
Jackass shoved us into weird things. Not necessarily the arena consistently, but because I think he stuffed me in a tower.
Yeah, but that's still the arena. It's just he
Yeah.
reshapes the arena to what he needs.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really have to go there. You can kind of leapfrog off the dinosaur island for that one if you really want to avoid that entire island.
Yes, we do.
Yes, probably.
And you don't think Clarity might want to say hi to her patron?
That's fair. We just want to avoid the other one.
Well, you could probably
Or
hoppity skip
avoid his
from.
attention.
Well, from what I've heard, he's not there. He's got some second in command running it, though, so. But I don't know if that second in command will have the kind of grudge against you.
Oh, we want to avoid tempting fate.
Then you really don't want to try to go through Chance's domain.
Probably not.
I mean, unless anybody's really good at counting cards.
No.
Yeah. No.
Alana's actually looking over at Niala. Just technically, at that particular table, it wasn't cheating, because everybody else was doing it too. I was just better at it.
By the way, just something. I know that the flame is something we're gonna have to get from Cragbeer, but should we just run through the whole list of things we need to get just to be absolutely sure of what we can get out of the Shattered Lands?
Okay, I mean, if you want to make any information you can give me about what I should be telling you would be great. However you want to do it.
And I thought we did do wasn't that the magic, the items, and the living
No,
flame?
she's talking about types of magic. She's talking about elements.
I have a few lightning-based spells, but I don't really use them very much.
Well, and this is more of a potions thing, but given there a while ago there was a whole thing about mechanical dinosaurs wrecking the ecosystem of the dinosaur island. I like to call it Dinotopia. But there might still be things there that might be useful in making lightning-based weapons. So you could probably ask them, and you could check on the Watcher. That she'd be able to help. I should flag up there's technically two of her, but she's just one person. She kind of she none of this is going to make any sense to you. You should be used to that by now. Okay, fair enough. She kind of had her soul saved in a network between two giant metallic giraffes.
What? What is a giraffe?
Alice, a silent image giraffe.
Okay.
That is an insanely long neck.
At which point, Alana, silent image, Horizon Zero Dawn Toll Neck.
Eh? Why is there a plate on its head?
Little Alana and Niala standing on top of it for scale.
It's a walking dinner plate, except instead of being, dinner plate sized, it's that is a house.
Well, the Watcher watches. Used to just be a construct, now it's a person in two separate bodies of these. One on either side of the island.
Oh boy.
Huh.
And they can converse with people and
I think they leave messages for the wood elves over there.
okay.
Um, Rylan, you remember that one of your wood elf one of the people in your settlement, one of the wood elves there, one of the older ones, actually came from that island. You guys remember you had somebody with the Aaron haircut.
I know someone from that place.
I bet they do potions. Dinotopia is very good for potions. A lot of the wildlife got infused with various elemental things and some bits of healing and some other stuff, and it is very verdant and lush. Especially now that most of the mechanical dinosaurs have been uh, zapped. Because the bodies are still there. What
Hmm.
what the wood elves haven't scavenged anyway. So Dinotopia might be worth your time for the lightning and the possible potions. If you're looking at acid, you probably want the island where our mice came from.
So the one full of crystals.
Yeah, the other crystal one. The one with the actual living things made of crystal. Everything is crystal. Except the rain. The rain is acid.
Yeah, that we remember being told about that. That was a
Mm-hmm.
good gods above and below.
You just have to be
think that
careful in the northeast part of the island. Flip, flip, flip. There is a dragon there.
Yeah. Heard about.
Amethyst. They're a little weird.
Weird how?
wait, didn't wait, but I thought there was I think we got told about this before. Was there a ruby?
Well, not anymore. Not over the last like 10 years or so.
That island, because you said the island also got smaller, right?
No, that's a different island. It might have got smaller.
Ah, trying to keep track of all of these.
Look, they're. You know Via
Uh huh.
take her and make her so much wiser and majestic and powerful that even concepts like basic good and evil are petty squabbles.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh no! Wait. So, hold on. This might be just the cleric in me talking, but does that mean Tiamat, Bahamut, and the ruby one is the third?
Amethyst, but in this case Amethyst, but kind of look, she's very old and very powerful and never retreat or hide.
Ah,
But she's not all that much on fighting. She doesn't really think that's particularly honorable and also boring. Because, you guys would squish. But so she prefers talking things out. How good are you guys at talking things out?
so long as we don't put our feet directly inside of our faces on the first word, we're usually okay.
Niala looks at Cherie and Alice say, that's really only because of those two, though, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Well, in which case, maybe you'll be able to ask her if there's anything particular special shiny on the Crystal Island besides the acid that you might.
Remember, Darvin likes well, if he's not doing the weird weird things with his phrasing that cause psychic damage,
Ooh.
he's also doing like you did a lot of thunder stuff back in the day.
Well, not so much on the thunder stuff, but okay, psychic damage. Yeah, that wouldn't let me stay very long. It's a tricky place to manage in general. In your head, though, yeah, okay, fine. Fair enough. I had to go straight up ape to stop it myself from going ape in the metaphorical sense. I'm a little bit more formal about my naming than my sister. Uh, this particular island, Alana flip, to an island, probably one of the highest ones in the weird shifting balance of islands of the Shattered Lands. I call it the Isle of Screaming Trees. Because that is what
What?
they do.
I'm guessing the screaming, if exposed too long, drives you insane or something.
Well, depends on exactly where in the forest you are, how it does it. But one of your first introductions is not only does it sound like the agonized, terrified screaming of someone you love, you will absolutely believe that it is that person, despite where you actually are, unless you are very, very firm in your convictions and good at noticing shit. From there, you get into Banshee territory. Beyond that, we didn't go. We've heard some stories that if you get to the very, very center of the island, the screaming can quite literally melt your eyeballs.
Oh, lovely.
Boy.
I think that's sort of a myth. It wasn't that it melts their eyeballs; it just bursts their eyeballs. Eardrums, on the other
That
hand,
was
those
better.
melted.
That doesn't sound much better.
I like specificity in the things I understand.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
And I think at the very epicenter, you vibrate until your bones turn to dust in your body.
All right, good to know. Don't go there.
Well, if you want some really powerful, I mean, don't go too far to the into the center, obviously. But if you want any powerful psychic damage magic stuff, that's where you go.
Hmm.
I mean, I understand you guys have a steel singer that is helping deal with those, and if you have the right container, you could probably take a branch, take some sap, a little of both, and do something with it. I assume, anyway. I'm not a crafter.
Okay.
And if you wanted necrotic, I bet you could get something like that from the sap branches and various other bits and pieces from some of the stuff around newbies.
Newbies.
That's the first place you land when you get to the Shattered Lands. Newbies is both the name of the islands, the only one that has an official name, and the inn. Because normally by the time you get there, it's too late to actually be trekking off to other islands. Because, everybody has to have rests from time to time. And I think I guess you guys know maybe that everything there is vampiric. It all drinks blood.
All right
We've
then.
heard of an island.
Yeah, no,
Did
you
that.
you did hear about this one. Just not necessarily the name newbies.
Hmm.
And it's mostly the crabs you have to watch out for. They're not so much bloodsuckers, although I guess they get some eventually. It's they kind of look like very big coconuts until they fall out of the tree, unfold, and then eat your head.
Ew.
Out of character. Oh, those crabs.
Is that from Half-Life? No.
Yeah,
The head crabs? Yes.
yes, but in this case, you know those ones you see climbing coconut trees that are like
Coconut
So
crabs, yeah.
literally coconut crabs, yes.
yes, and she's decided not to do the silent image in this case. She just becomes one.
Duh.
And kind of rears back on legs to find that the entire inside there is mouth. It's some
No,
not
no,
even
no.
just straight down either. Anybody who's watched Stranger Things, you know the Demogorgon mouths.
Mhm.
That's apparently what those do. So get rears up and then
There's not enough
back to
melted butter in all of Ambia for me to know.
Actually, they're not very tasty. That's why I figure you probably get some necrotic energy out of it. It's not poison damage. It's just it's not sick making. It's sick making, but it's not poison sick making. It's blight sick making.
God.
And honestly, the crabs are probably a little bit safer than the grass.
I remember you mentioning that the grass tried to eat people.
Oh, the grass succeeds in eating people an awful lot. Yeah. Because the problem is you can't just reach in and pick some because every time you brush against some, it's all sucking life out of you. Like literally blood. So you probably don't want to go picking the grass or the flowers. The flowers is bad news.
Okay, good to know. How do we avoid it then?
You just don't walk on the grass. There's beach.
Okay.
Some of the seals are a little weird though.
Okay, so hold on. You said the grass was bad, but the flowers were worse. What do you mean the flowers were worse?
Well, it's like the grass because not only do the stems and leaves stick to you and start sucking the blood out, but then you get the mouths like the crab had. The flowers look like tulips and then
Mm. Yeah, out of character. The Shattered Lands. Let us not go there. 'Tis a silly place.
Okay, despite me usually being a fan of greenery and seeing what things can be cultivated, I hate everything about that sentence.
Neelas, to be fair, the trees are probably worse.
I do.
How many layers of further worse are we gonna go through?
Well, do you want to be absorbed by a tree?
Ooh.
No.
No,
Thank you.
no one does.
Apparently, it takes them a week to fully digest you, and you're alive the entire time.
Oh. Ugh.
I'm not doing
Hey, they're
Sarlacc.
just trees. Good to
Not
know.
doing Sarlacc 1,000 years because people don't last that long. But what Niala is saying is it literally gives you enough like nutrient and liquid to not die of starvation or thirst.
Ooh.
So you're not really dead until it starts dissolving your lungs.
Oh.
Okay,
Great.
avoid the trees at all costs. Good to know.
Yeah, basically you stay in the pub, you stay on the beach and do not engage with the seals.
And this is the one island called Newbies. Good to know.
It gives you the best idea of what you might be in for as you continue on.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Oh,
fair
boy.
point.
Let me think. Ice, honestly, you'd do better in Demille. There's not a lot of ice climate in the Shattered Lands. I think just because all the ambient wavy energy is keeping things too warm. But yeah, poison. Nyala likes this particular island. It's a forest. I'm allowed to sit in the trees, and there is not a single leaf in that place that can't kill you
Oh,
if ingested, inhaled, or in some cases, touches your skin at all.
So everything's pointless, basically.
And that's not even getting into the wildlife.
Oh boy.
Snakes, spiders, tree frogs.
oh my.
So is that
Let me guess.
anything
The
in the
tree frogs are
Shadowlands
the
that's
worst.
not trying to kill you?
No, the worst are the badgers.
So, I know from badgers. We also know from Norman.
No,
But
Norman is just a basic badger. This is the kind of badger she's talking about. You know honey badgers?
Mhm.
oh no.
That about the size of a wolf, and when opens mouth, uh, basically cobra fangs.
Oh, great.
Oh good god, so it's basically a Wolverine on creatine.
It also has the same deal with its claws and other teeth that Komodo dragons do.
So so not only are they serrated, but they're also, because of what it
More
eats, designed to make sure you get an infection.
And yeah, Nyala is. It's weird seeing her grin. More poison, basically.
Right. Out of character. In Elden Ring terms, it's Kaled. Great.
Yeah, don't go there. Do not go there. The rod is evil. The rod is evil.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want poison, I can give you a list of some of the best things to collect. Wear gloves. Wear very heavy gloves. Do not let anything touch your bare skin at all. You just don't want to take chances. No one tried to pet the badgers.
Clarity.
I'm just
It's
making sure
like
you
someone
remember to
took a
pass that
badger
message
and
along.
Right.
Someone took a badger, fused it with the Wolverines and bears, and then gave it a cobra face.
It's clarity.
Alana becomes
Need I say
Alana.
more?
Look, we speak from experience. I tried to pet the badger.
And
They
and
have the
because you're you
softest.
could probably explain exactly how it felt too.
Yeah, I wrote a whole research paper, and they have the softest fur.
Oh god, don't tell Clarity that.
None of us are going to tell her that.
No.
Got
I'm
me?
going to tell her that.
I'm going to avoid it as much as possible, but if she wrenches the truth out of me, she wrenches the truth out of me. It's what happens.
Hazel, you can tell a white lie here.
We're talking about Hazel here, and her with the massive susceptibility to the puppy eyes.
Yeah.
How do you feel when Cherie gives you that look?
Okay, enough.
You understand, because you actually know what it's like.
Yeah, well, okay. Try real hard.
I plan to. I just want everyone to be forewarned that
When Clarity sees cute,
And she has some very interesting ideas about what cute is.
exactly.
Yeah.
Neola's like, just so that you're aware, the fur actually stays that soft post-mortem.
interesting.
Part of the reason we go every 5 years or so is because there's a furrier down the street of Love and Beauty that it's not a very big trade, but the coats made out of their fur are quite the big deal. It's not quite the people's furs, but still keeps you warm in ice wine territory. Also, they're naturally poison resistant fur wise, so it makes it worthwhile to hunt a few. And it's apparently really good that we
Understandably
do that
so, getting
because
rid of
they
most
they
of that
breed
island.
like rabbits.
Hmm.
So if you want to make some extra gold, you take down a
I
few of
think
them.
we're okay on the the gold department.
Fair enough. I think fire, ice, lightning, thunder. I mean, honestly, we don't know what all the islands have that you might be interested in. We didn't exactly go looking for components in all the places.
Mm-hmm.
But I figure that all of them probably have something. And you can ask around at newbies. They might have more detailed information. And they'll certainly have a more current map and ways to get to the various islands.
Okay.
All right.
And I mean, okay, because with the clarity thing, I should probably point out flip. Far edge. So it's probably almost halfway normal. Mid-sized island, teardrop shaped. Looks more grassland than anything else. The occasional bit of scrubby tree in various spots. That one. Okay, basically, it's the only place in the world where you can find something like this. Y'all know Fizzgig from the
Mm-hmm.
Dark Crystal?
Oh, I
Mouth.
remember that. Mouth opens, just teeth on teeth on teeth. The
Yeah,
more
Oh,
teeth
right.
than the Osmond family thing.
yeah. Um, it's basically that, but uh, Popples?
No.
Uh, Google at some point. They're basically in this case it's more the pocket popple, so you get this little fluffy thing with four
Oh,
legs, and apparently they turn themselves inside out. From what Lana's doing, turns themselves inside out like hedgehogs,
yeah, I
then
can
back
see
out,
what you're talking about. What the
and
fuck?
then unhinges mouth for Fizzgig.
Like, absolutely gonna want to go see those.
They're actually really
Every
friendly.
time we turn around to go somewhere, there's something in that location that is made out of more teeth
These ones
than
are
body mass.
actually pretty nice, but the reason that you can't have them anywhere else is because they only eat one very specific type of salamander.
Hmm.
And it's only on that island.
Yep. I think I think I have enough left in the tank to demonstrate why uh, they can only really survive on that one island. The thing is literally made of blue flame.
Huh.
It's on. Okay, so that fur wasn't so much fur as it was fire!
No, the salamanders are just fire. Well, they're not actually even really fire. They're more uh, thunder fire.
Huh?
Uh, I don't think that I don't think Alana can actually demonstrate this, but um, them with their big old mouths are basically the only things that can eat these things. Because if you hit it any other way,
Mm-hmm.
it explodes.
Okay.
Huh.
And we're talking Think of the most powerful thunder wave anybody could ever do.
Oh, so just the shockwave that happens when a fire is really bad.
More of the shockwave that happens when the explosion is really bad.
Eh,
Alice is going, so the spell shatter, but like to a factor of twilly. That's it. There you go.
I mean, I wonder if you could make something out of that, weapon-wise.
It only happens
don't
when you
know.
pierce their skin. I mean, maybe somebody could do something with the thunder fire, but I don't know if you could get it without killing the salamander, because the reason
Hmm.
that they only live on that island is because they can only eat that one kind of grass. I guess you could probably take a whole bunch of that kind of grass and bring a live specimen. And Alice says, well, we have a menagerie
Mm-hmm.
if you want to try it.
At the very
I
least,
mean,
not
for
so
a
much
boom
trying to
that big?
weaponize it, but what?
I said for a boom that big, but we are trying to kill a god here. Be a bad idea.
Well, I can
Which
put a
point?
pin in it and think about it.
Which point? Michigan is seen to be stalking the salamander-shaped Alana. Delicious.
But
No.
do not.
Alana is. It's been a long time since I've been eaten by anything. I wasn't gonna
Huh.
complain.
Hmm.
It would be
You
rude if
need to
we
be
let Michigan eat
unexploded, you
you.
feathery menace.
Boom.
Boom!
Look
All
suspicious.
the boom!
Look suspiciously at Alana. No exploding. Not even the bird cat wants me to have any fun.
We like living!
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Alana. Well, I mostly hang around with you. Yeah, I don't really like exploding either. Putting ourselves back together is painful. But it would have demonstrated things really nicely. And then we'd have
And
to.
destroyed all of your notes!
You all don't want me to have any fun coming in here with your logic.
Just Hazel's current thought process is, how am I making more sense than this thing?
Alice leans over and goes, remember, she has been alive for a very, very long time, cannot die, and was weird to begin with. Oh, hey, how are you guys on, like, healing stuff?
Um, like
My entire bracket.
Okay,
I can do a
then.
little bit.
Well, it's. I was
And Alice
thinking
can
I
do
was
some.
thinking potions, but I'm pretty sure they could also do something that you could drink and maybe boost your heals. Um, flip, 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 and points to the one that's not only below sea level but on the ocean floor. The place where you can breathe the water beyond a certain point, anyway. They do varieties of what they call sea wine, and if you're needing healing, it'll generally heal you, and if you're not needing healing, it'll bump up how much you can heal. I know this from
Okay.
experience. Also tastes
Right,
like gooseberries.
Is there anything dangerous on that island?
I mean, it's underwater. You kind of gotta watch out for the sharks and the sea wolves and various whales. More crabs, different crabs, bigger
Okay.
crabs.
I'm
Did you say
remembering.
sea
It's like being
wolves?
underwater in Bergtown, but you can breathe down there somehow.
And fuck it, I don't care. Alana's been alive for 1,000 years. She's going to be beyond level 20 druid. What you've got is like a leopard seal. If you made it the size of a stellar's, gave it more teeth.
They're already that big.
No, stellars are way bigger than the average leopard seal.
Ah,
And
Oh,
while
okay then.
and Niala flags up from her perch, they swim in packs.
Yep, that's what wolves do.
Yep,
Hmm.
they're some of the few hunters that can actually take down a whole pod of orca. And when they go after your average, when they go after your average pod of orcas or sharks or whatever's going on, usually there's so much blood in the water that you can't see through it for about a half a mile.
Hmm.
ah.
Well, that's why, turning back to half elven shape, that's why most of the conveyances that they use to traverse the depths of the areas around the Shattered Lands look like other not so edible things or things you might not necessarily want to mess with. And since they are moving like something that's not sick or hurt or prey, and they're generally transparent, so you can see what's going on, so that you don't look or smell like something living. They just kind of let you alone.
All right.
There's another couple of they're more like little settlements there because it's hard to grow things on most of the islands, so it's not very easy to grow things down there either. But we get they get some of their supplies from down there, and we went along once on a trip where they were picking up some various supplies from below, and it was this giant crab. We all got to sit in and watch everything swim around us. It was great.
So, crab construct vehicle thing?
They also had shark and sea turtle. They might have something more by now. Been a while.
Oh boy. So, underwater crystal condensed magic. And Shadow Island off from Whimsy, Misrule, and Chance. There's 4 places so far.
Also, if you want poison, it's poison. There's your poison island, and you want psychic is land of screaming trees,
5, 6. So we're
and
now up to 6.
potentially the place where the fauna is either cute and fluffy or salamandery and explosive. Because apparently Barnabas wants to make newt grenades.
7.
That's a lot of Shatterland.
Mm-hmm.
And newbies. And
8.
but you have to go to newbies anyway, so they should be able to tell you more there. And if you're lucky, you might run into an expedition that's picking up some other stuff from there. Mostly it's Agreffians.
This is going to be the most
Of course, it's a
unhinged
Greffian.
Somehow
trip
that
of our
doesn't surprise
lives.
me.
So, was that sufficient? I have a transcript, but it doesn't look anything like this.
That was very, very, very more than sufficient.
Extremely informative, yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Just try to not get too near to the epicenter. Because, frog.
Right.
Mm.
The biggest frog. Frog who eats ships for lunch.
I still think that they should make the frog into a settlement. Maybe it wouldn't be so grumpy and lonely all the time.
How?
How what?
How frog into settlement?
On its back, I'm guessing.
Yeah, just. I mean, he's got some moss on him.
Without becoming lunch.
He'd probably get bored of trying to slap you off his back with his tongue eventually.
Eventually.
Neala, it's just Alana. You keep forgetting that most of us. Oh yeah, right. The you actually die thing. We could do it, Alana. Fine. We have responsibilities. I know. I could talk to him. You tried that, remember? I said I was sorry about your bow. I've been carrying it for 100 years. I made you a new one. You tried to make me a new one. It's the thought that counts. I'm not a crafter. It's the thought that counts, but maybe leave the frog alone. But he's probably lonely. I mean, if you want to put him out of his misery, maybe recommend a couple of packs of sea wolves. No! Besides, if they get too close to the epicenter, who knows what they'll turn into? No, Alana. Fine. It was your idea to start with, yeah, and then you flagged that up. You're beginning to see they have spent hundreds of years like this.
I love their banter.
How many times have you had this discussion now?
347, that specific conversation. We don't normally get to the seawolves being changed by the impact crater, though. If you could survive getting into the impact crater, if you had enough protective gear, like maybe what you're wearing for going on to the solid magic island, I bet there's some Tiamat scales in there. Embedded in the.
So, okay, that's actually really worth putting a pin in because
Why would you want Tiamat scales?
Well, if you wanna penetrate the scales of a god, you should probably use the scales of a god.
That's actually
yeah,
good
something
thinking.
you can use something equally durable
Right.
to get through something durable.
Right.
And Niala is alternatively, I would imagine that the one thing a dragon is going to be immune to is the exact thing they breathe.
And in this case, there's
Yeah,
5
map
things.
breeze, a lot of things.
Yep.
Yeah, and she'd probably have to be immune to all of them, at least if they were coming from her. Might not work as well with other dragon stuff, but might, given God. But there's options depending on if you risk it and how much of it you find. But if you want to get that close, you better be sure of your protective gear and make sure there's somebody who can winch you out again. because
Mm.
there's no rides to the impact crater.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, I'd, I'd I'd say worth the risk, but Clarity's at the very least going to yell at me if I suggest it. So,
Well, I mean,
I think she'd more yell at you if you went without her.
well, she has to. Remember,
Yeah, I
it's.
protective
know.
gear.
I know.
Well, we've got 9 to 10 ideas.
It's a good start, and we don't really want to inundate Jenna anyway.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing we don't 10 is probably enough because she might not be able to use all of it, but the last thing we want to do is induce choice paralysis.
Yeah.
I don't think
Mhm.
even Jen is immune to that, but we've got samplings of most of the elements and the potential. I mean, she said she was going to use some of the living fire if she could think of how in whatever weapon she was putting together. And we have to talk to Governor Led anyway uh, to try to get to Cragveer, which we're doing first, so we have more time to think about this.
Mhm.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to that shop that's making your protective gear and seeing if the protections can't be uh, heightened, shall we say.
Thank you.
Thankfully, we won't be picking that up until after we've picked up the living fire and delivered it to Jenna. So it'll give them time to work. So I'm assuming that after that and night sleep to sleep off the stress of various bits and pieces, we meet Clarity and Darwin in the morning. We teleport up to Vievaled, so on my way I'm going to have to call her office and make sure we have an appointment. And start with Cragveer because we're not. I don't think there's a teleportation circle that we A know about and B wouldn't be watched by the people we're trying to avoid when we go there. So we're just going to have to sneak in the back door.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I'll leave the door open a bit for you, Sheree, okay? Thank you. Does anyone want anything? The stall should still be running for a while yet.
No. Do you want company? I can go with you.
If you'd like to, I just wasn't going to subject you to yet more walking.
I'm fine with that.
All right, come along then. And what is everybody else going to be doing? Just slumping?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long, tricksome day, and yeah, with a little bit less, with fewer people to wrangle, Cherie can actually point out the various stalls that are still open and places that might want to check out next time in the area. And actually picks up a bottle of that whiskey that Barnabas liked for storage in the surreal estate.
Hmm.
Some good coffee for the morning and a small variety pack of herbal teas for Rylan and in part Hazel. Although probably not so much for Hazel. Didn't we determine the exact level of milk needed to make it palatable for her without sending her vibrating into the sun?
Do believe so, yeah.
But it's good to have a selection anyhow. Ava
Mm-hmm.
likes it sometimes as well. And then onward to the Street of Love and Beauty. I understand you think it's very attractive when I am yelling at someone, but if you don't want to watch that, you are welcome to wait outside.
Oh no, no, I'm here for my entertainment.
And enters. Oh, for pity's sake, oh, Ms. Belascu. Yes, minor thing. What's the timeline that we're working on for this? Perfection takes time. I know this, but I want to know the approximate timeline for the moment. It has bearing on my next request. Next, I think 2 or 3 days. All right, how long to double the protective power of it? I'm not even sure I can do that. Why I'm asking for this? Because, quite frankly, it is a requirement for our current duties. And I have the full backing on the governor on this. We've already had him pretty much give his blessing to whatever I wanted to do as regards this, because it is saving the world, and he will not like being pulled away from riding herd on his replacement secretary to come down here and give you a very clear indication of the error of your ways. It'll probably take another week. We can work with that. Thank you. Have a lovely evening. Oh, yeah. You really just wanted to see me go off on someone, didn't you?
Yes, uh, competence and authority and it's frightening sexy. It's hard to explain.
Well, assuming we do, as your friends put it, save the world 1,000 times, and you do get the head of guard position, you'll probably be seeing that more often, because one of the things that was going to be part of my task list before that offer was me having a bit more of a communication with the guard. Not just with the head of guard, but directly relaying Governor Zet's sentiments to the guard.
Well, assuming we get through this and I get that position, I think we can make that work.
And you will get to, once a month, see me relaying Governor Zet's concerns.
Barnabas sort of zones out for a second.
Although, keep in mind, if there are too many concerns, that might reflect badly on you.
Right. It's a fine line and a balance act, like anything else.
I'm sure your previous position left you well suited to dance that line.
Oh,
And barring anything else, last minute whatevers? Oh, well, in which case, everybody turns in from a relatively early night. There is, last minute drinks before bed, really good hot chocolate or tea if anyone wants. And when we return in 2 weeks' time, we will hopefully actually meet back up with Clarity and Darwin and start on our journey to Cragfear, which in and of itself is, we might, for the first time in months, actually do some combat soon.
Ooh.
cool.
So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.